Hello everyone, it's Annabella here. So I was reading the comments and I saw that someone had a dream where I did a reading on the ZB1 boy band. So today I like to make that dream come true. I don't really know much about ZB1. This is honestly the first time I've heard of them. Don't mind me, I'm an old Gen 2 K-pop person. So please don't feel offended if I'm not up to date with the newer groups. Anyways, for this reading, I like to do an overall energy reading for the boys, see how they're doing, what their energy is like, and maybe the cards will show us where they're heading in the future. But it'll be very general since it's only a quick reading. Just remember, this is only a tarot reading. Take everything with a grain of salt. It is mainly for entertainment. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. The first card we have for them here is the Seven of Wands. This card usually symbolizes fights. I don't know much about this group, but I read their brief Google introduction and saw that they're a temporary group created from a show. Just from this card alone, I get the feeling that the fact they're together already comes with a lot of competition. Fighting for their spot, in some way they might still be competing with each other right now, even if they're presenting themselves as one unit. It may not seem intense on the outside, but at the same time, you never really know since the entertainment industry can be really deep and complicated. Basically, it feels like everyone's trying to hold their own ground. I think this card makes sense as is for this group because of the fact that they are a temporary group. If this card were to represent their future, then it points to a time where they'll need to keep preparing themselves. The second card here is the Hermit. Now, I find this card quite interesting because when I was pulling the spread, I was thinking about whether this group would stay together or separate once their contract is over. The Hermit is a card about loneliness, finding your true self and being on your own journey. It's not really a group card. I feel like this is hinting that each member of the group may eventually find their own place in the industry once their contract ends. Or even right now, it could mean that they're already on that path, already beginning the journey to look for where they truly belong after their ZEROBASEONE chapter. The Hermit can still bring a positive message though, because it represents a time when you need to be alone in order to figure things out. It's about getting things done on your own, discovering your true self, and understanding what you're really meant to do. Next, we have the Devil. Now, the Devil has a few meanings such as desire, bondage, or toxicity. These meanings could really reflect the industry itself. They're trying their hardest, working themselves to the bone, and giving up a lot to exchange for a future they're chasing, even though they might know deep down that what they're pursuing brings emotional stress or anxiety. They just can't help themselves because that's how the entertainment industry works. I feel like overall, this card is emphasizing just how difficult their situation is. The fact that they don't have a solid long-term contract after just 2.5 years adds to that pressure. So the desire to stay relevant either with the group or to succeed individually brings a lot of uncertainty. And since each member will have a different future, there's no way to know from just the spread. Now we have the Four of Swords. This card is about rest, but you have to ask, why do they need to rest? It usually follows a time of heavy work, exhaustion, and being constantly busy. I think it makes a lot of sense coming right after the Devil card, since that one represents overworking and being caught in a stressful cycle. The Four of Swords also symbolizes taking time to rest in order to plan for what comes next. So I think this fits in well with the overall theme we're seeing in their spread. Even if they're not consciously slowing down right now to figure out their future, I feel like they'll be forced to do so soon, especially because their contract is coming to an end. The last card, being the Queen of Cups, is actually very hard to interpret because I'm not entirely sure what she wants to say. I wonder if she's talking about a woman in their lives. I don't know if their manager or someone in the company is a woman who could be giving them opportunities, but since this is a full group reading, that feels a little tricky to say, right? each of their lives could have different feminine energies and they may not all be tied to the same person. So instead, we can look at this Queen of Cups from a different perspective. What I see here is that she's staring into the cups, wishing for something more, trying to stay emotionally connected to her wishes. To me, this might represent that the members are all still in the process of thinking, planning, and wishing for what's next, hoping that whatever they move on to, whatever they sign on to next, will be something that truly fits them and their personal career goals. And because this is a Cups card, I also feel like it shows that they genuinely did enjoy being together. There's emotional appreciation here. They value each other's company and likely feel a deep connection to the time they spent as a group. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. As you can see, the overall spread seems to point more toward individual growth for each of them. So I'm not really sure if they'll end up re-signing the contract or if there's even a contract available for them to re-sign. Anyways, I'll leave it there for now. Thank you so much for listening. If you're interested in a personal reading from me, check out the description below for my contact info. Feel free to leave your requests in the comments. I've been doing readings based on your suggestions, so definitely keep them coming. And of course, if you're curious about a specific celebrity and can't wait, it's probably best to reach out to me directly. Thanks again and have a nice day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time. Bye.